Welcome to this video. This episode is probably going to be about, some of the violin projects that I'm taking on at the moment, and I might show you how they end up, or whether I play them or not. I mean, I sometimes just practice things without playing it because it's just for technique. I just want to keep my technique, standard up high where it was when I was studying. So yeah, enjoy. I have two projects for my next gig, but now the one I've done before, I've done Storm at a gig before, but Crystallize from Lindsey Stirling, I have learned in the past, but I've always been too nervous to actually do it. So I'm going to try both at the same gig this time. This one I know very well because it's from Vivaldi, and I played it I've been playing it for years. But Crystallize, I've never performed, so I am going to try that. Whenever students ask me, why do we do scales? Why do we do arpeggios? I tend to show them some music with scales and arpeggios. And scales and arpeggios are just, at the moment I like it, but I like practicing it. I always start my day practicing, warm up with the scale. But I used to hate it. I used to hate scales. And hate is a very strong word, but really I did. I mean, you don't go through music and you don't like scales. If I find a student who likes scales, I cherish that time that the student likes scales, because in general it doesn't last long. But yeah, whenever they tell me, why do we have to do this? I show them this. In Lindsey Stirling's Crystallize, all of these notes here at the bottom, if you know music, then you would know, all these notes are just arpeggios that is in, a varied form. I will play it now so you can hear. Your normal arpeggio is just a shortened version of a scale. So basically either or it's, so you jump notes, but I mean, yeah, it's what they do in pieces normally is variations on that. But listen first and then judge. C major arpeggio, D minor arpeggio, and the false bit as well, D minor. C major. D minor. It's everywhere, and it's mostly arpeggios in Lindsey Stirling's Crystallize. However, Vanessa Mae's Storm has scales everywhere. Those lines that go from left to right and look like it's going down to the right, those are scales. There's some arpeggios as well. I will play it now then you will hear it's scales. And more scales. And then arpeggios. Arpeggio. And that's, sorry for that high note, that's where the piece ends. But there's more scales and arpeggios in the middle. Now, in preparation for these gigs where I'm playing the Lindsey Stirling and the Vanessa Mae, I need to practice the music with my electric violin because it is different from an acoustic violin.
So, I mean, you'll hear the sound is very, I don't have it plugged in. I'm just practicing because it is different. So my fingers need to get used to how the fingerboard of the violin feels and how the music sounds on it and how I can play it perfectly in tune. And it's different from my acoustic violin. So I have to practice on the electric violin. So a lot of the time, a lot of these things are mostly double stops that are different from, it's different from an acoustic violin to an electric violin because the placing of the strings might be slightly different because it is a different instrument. Mm-mm. See, my open strings are in tune, but those two notes aren't quite, and it's also a fifth. It's just my first finger that's down on both strings. So I have to find a way to fix that on the electric violin. And for some reason, there's one part in the storm that's always out of tune. I always have to stretch slightly further, which is, it's close to the end. Can you hear when I press down here, the D goes lower. It's very strange. So I've gone to just like switching strings. So I don't play this the same than I would on my acoustic violin because it's not in tune. Oh, I have to practice that. Yeah, such is life with an electric violin.